guys! I know it's been a minute since I've done a farm update, and a lot has changed since the last time I did an update. And so today I'm going to do a tour, talk about the plants, talk about animals, talk about everything that's changed, such as our plans and tilling and setting up our garden beds. So let's go. Okay, so while I'm inside our shed, I'm going to give you guys an update and tour of the greenhouses. There are now 3 of them. One of them has 5 shelves, and I kind of wish the other 2 did as well because I'm still running out of space. So here we go. Alright, a lot has changed since the last time I did an update in the greenhouses. We have vegetables growing. This is my kids. I had them start their own veggies. We got these veggies going. We got some tomatoes, okra, tomatillos, cucumbers, dill, and then back there we got some more veggies that my son planted. We got ageratum. It got in the 30s last night, so I brought some plants in. I have a dahlia I started from seed, and then some random bells of Ireland have popped up. So that's pretty exciting. I might try and plant these guys out sooner than the dahlia. It's almost our last average frost date, so hopefully soon I can plant some stuff outside. Down here I have some starts I actually bought from the store. Well, not all of them. This one I grew from seed. Then we got, I know these look really bad. I kind of missed watering them a few times, but they're recovering. These are loofah. We have, I think this is oregano or something. I don't even know. Or snapdragon. Very possibly a snapdragon. I love this. Bought this at the store. Got these at the store. Yeah. These are not frost tolerant, and I accidentally left them outside overnight, so 2 of them have survived to my knowledge. Alright, the peppers and onions. I've been hardening them off, so that's why everybody's on the floor. We'll bring them outside when it gets a little warmer outside because it's 37 degrees right now. Yeah, they're a little yellow because I think they got a little sunburn. I accidentally left them outside too long. But the onions are doing really, really well. Over here, we got some Mexican sunflowers. I know the feverfew can tolerate the cold, but I'm not sure about these guys, these Mexican sunflowers. So I brought them inside last night. And then we also have some scabiosa, which also can tolerate the cold. All right, moving on. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so we went to Flower World, which is one of my most favorite places. And I got a Martha Washington geranium, some petunias, and Dusty Miller. I have some new planter boxes I'll show you guys here in a minute that I'm going to plant these in when it is not so stinking cold outside. Alright, greenhouse number 2, we got celosia. These are all Rebecca, a bunch of them, like they're a bunch of different kinds. And here, some are perennial, some are not. And the dahlia tubers, look, they're not just dirt anymore. I know they're looking wilty. I need to water them. They are due for watering right now. But look at that. These are asters, the China asters, which I really love for bouquets. So those will be blooming around the fall time. I have a few different varieties in here, some from Botanical Interest, some from Ed Hume, and some from Johnny's. And then my very sad anise hyssop, which I need to get outside. It's very sad. But we'll get to that talk later. And some more veggies and the mountain mint, what has survived. I will have to try and grow more because a lot of it died. And then over here next to the greenhouse, I have some dahlia tubers I bought at, I know, Fred Meyer. And yeah, they're doing pretty good. I plan to keep them either in pots or segregated somehow. I learned that. Fun fact, I learned that dahlias can harbor viruses for up to 2 to 3 years. So I'm going to have to keep them segregated for 2 or 3 years. I will have to keep them planted in the ground though. So I'm going to have to find a sacrifice area to plant them in so that if they do have a disease, I don't have to worry about that soil being totally contaminated with disease, which would be really unfortunate, but that is how it is sometimes. All right, back to the greenhouses. All right, greenhouse number 3. This is the big boy. He's got 5 shelves, and I don't have anything on the bottom shelf, and there is a reason, and I will share that with you in a minute. You might be able to hear the reason. I got these very beautiful, I know they look really crispy right now, and I'll explain why, marigolds at a local store here in Ellensburg, but I think they did not harden them off, and it may have also gotten a little too cold outside. We also have, it's very windy here, like literally 30-mile-an-hour gusts, like constantly. So they may also be suffering from some wind burn. I'm not entirely sure. I know these ones probably are also dealing with similar problems, wind burn, and I may have left them outside too long, and so they got sunburnt as well. This is honeywort. It's so cute. I love it. It's related to borage, so I'm actually kind of excited to have a whole bunch of this. Yeah, it makes a great foliage for bouquets, more dahlia tubers. Oh yeah, these are the cut flower variety of marigolds. They are the white. These ones are the Kilimanjaro white, and then in the back I have the swan white from Johnny's. I just wanted to see color-wise what I liked better. These ones, I collected their seeds from our other house. Yes, we still have our other house. It has been on the market. The story with our other house. So our house we put on the market back in March, and in the first week or two it went pending. So during that time everything was going smoothly, everything was going right, and then the day of signing, literally at signing, while the people that were purchasing, the buyers purchasing our house, they refused to sign the day of signing. Anyway, back to the plants. So we have more dahlia tubers, and these trays don't hold water very well here. It's very dry here, so I've been having to water them 2 to 3 times a week. I'm super worried about them rotting, but yeah, I have dahlia tubers down here too. But then the bottom shelf is empty. And the reason the bottom shelf is empty is I will show you right now. This is why it's empty. Look. Hi, girls. We got 15 chickens. Well, we got 16, but one passed away. So we think that one right there, actually, that's Fluffy. We think that one might be a rooster. But this is why there's nothing on the bottom shelf, because they get out. Okay, I gotta put them back now. So we have 4 buff Orpingtons, 3 lavender Orpingtons, 4 speckled Sussex, and 4 golden lace Wyandotte chickens. Yeah. They're a lot of fun. I did not realize how much I was going to enjoy having chickens until we got all these chickens, and I absolutely love them. They're super, I love them. They're so fun. All right, next, I'll take you guys outside. A lot has changed outside too, so, and I had to transition to a big farm hat because I have, you can't really tell in the video, but right here I have a tan line from wearing a ball cap all day in the sun. So, big farm hat it is. All right, I moved all my plants from my sister-in-law's house because they were all at her house because it gets very cold here in the winter. And since they're not established in the ground, I was pretty certain they would die. So, look at all of my plants. Some I grew here, some are not grown here. But yeah, this is very much different than the last time I shared with you guys. Also, I painted our shed. Today, I'm going to try and make shutters for it. fake shutters, and the window box is where those plants from Flower World will be going. So yeah, and then my tulips came up. Look at that. Oh, now it's at the end of their life cycle, but yeah, they came up. I'm very excited about that. I made a couple bouquets, but I'm trying to see if they'll perennialize. They're not really cut flower varieties anyway, so they were just really enjoyable to have. Also, I have daffodils. These doubles are really, really cool. They also get windburn, so I put up this fence with frost cloth on the back. Usually it's higher, to keep them from getting totally windburned, because we have basically a tunnel between this and those. The wind just comes blowing through here. And then I moved my stock. Oh yes, that's a fun story. So while we were in the middle of moving all of our stuff from our other house to here, all those stock seedlings I shared in my last video, just about all of them died. So I don't have very much stock, but I've never grown it before, and I don't know when it blooms here. So either way, I'm still learning something really great, and I do plan to grow it again next year. Yeah, the only ones that survived, the ones that are doing the best, are the Ed Hume ones. But Ed Hume seeds are grown in Puyallup, which is a couple hours away from us. So they might just be more adapted to our weather conditions here. These are the cats from Johnny's. These other ones are the Ed Hume. And then from our other house, I took the bachelor buttons that were just randomly growing, and parsley. And then these are a perennialized onion, which I got from one of my best friends' moms. She knows I'm super into like gardening and stuff. So yeah, they don't really like bloom, but they get these like weird spirally things on top. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, the tulips and daffodils are mostly all done. Don't mind our silage tarps. It's just really weedy. We have lots of thistle and alfalfa growing up in here, so I just thought I would just put a tarp down. My irises from my other house are blooming. So pretty. But yeah, and our tractor's working. I kind of got a system to get it to work for me right now. So yeah, that is what's going on over here in front of our shed. Now let's walk out to the field, which is really exciting. Ta-da! Okay, so we did have everything tilled, but alfalfa is really resilient, and it rained a couple days after we had it tilled. So what happened is a lot of the chopped up pieces started growing roots again and regrew in the ground. So what we did was, sorry, the sun is out, it's beautiful. Back in our pasture area, which you can't really see because it's so bright, we had that tilled again with a disc tiller. We had someone, they tilled our neighbor's house, and he asked if we needed it tilled again, and I said yes. So he tilled back there, and it actually worked really, really well, but it still grew back. So we, our neighbor offered us to let us use his tractor, and so I took that out for like 2 days, and I tilled with his tractor, which is a different type of tiller. It's a rototiller tiller, not a disc tiller. And it worked really, really well. There's still alfalfa growing back, which is fine. Sheep can have about 10% of alfalfa in their diet, so it's okay. So we're pretty happy with how that turned out. We have that area silage tarp because that's where our septic is going to go someday. And then here's our little field of alfalfa that we kept. It's growing very lusciously. And this is what the most exciting part is. Things are happening, you guys. I'm so excited. So here is one of our pathways that goes around our flower garden. I know it's huge. It's a 10-foot pathway. Even our car can fit in it. I did that because things get big, plants grow big. So I wanted to make sure that they had enough room and I could drive our tractor through or their tractor through and not damage the plants, because they do get big. They do grow out of the bed. So yeah, all right, over here, all around the whole entire field are hedgerows because it is windy here. Like, we have to have some kind of windbreak. And so this is my first hedgerow that I planted. I have lilac trees, which I know they do super well here because almost everyone has them. These are a variegated one though, so I'd not seen anybody have those. Most people have like the standard like lilac colored ones. We have creeping phlox, echinacea, dusty miller. Some of these plants I bought because they're just so pretty. Gosh, what's those poppies? Iceland poppies. This is one I had from last year, and I'm really hoping it grows. I know it looks dead as a doornail, but I broke one of the branches off, and it was green. So I know it's alive. This is a 9-bark, which is 9-bark's native to North America, which I'm trying to do mostly all native to North America plants. We got some Sweet William, my phlox, which is totally wind burned. And then on the other side, we have blueberry bushes. We got apple trees. And so what I did was I started planting a guild around the apple trees. So right now they have lupin, the ones I grew from seed, around the base of them. That's my daughter's lamb's ear. Some rudbeckia. It's a golden seal variety, so it's not super productive in flowers, but it looks pretty. More phlox. This is St. John's wort, and it looks like it's doing very horrible, so we'll see if it actually lives. More dusty miller. I kind of did a dusty miller like border, and then more creeping phlox, another St. John's wort. These in the back are quince, flowering quince, and they're thornless. And I'm hoping that they will do really well next year. I have to trim them. I hear the best time to trim them is in August, after fruiting time. So I'll be trimming those back to see if I can get them a little more full. And then our other apple tree, lupin, and then the side is exactly the same as the other side because I like some symmetry, but also I want a little chaos. So everything is kind of crazy planting wise. It'll be so fun to see what this looks like in even 2 months from now. Hopefully this has leaves on it and is growing. Oh yeah, also I have calla lilies planted in here as well. So, and the yarrow is taking off, which tells me this soil is really not the healthiest soil, which I can believe. It's been sprayed with chemicals for like 20 years. But yeah, the yarrow is doing fantastic in here. These echinaceas are doing absolutely horrible, so I'm unfortunately going to have to probably replace these, which is really sad because I really loved these ones. These were a double variety that I got last year on clearance, but you know, sometimes plants aren't meant to live, I guess. So yeah, anyway, this is the only area I really have set up. Well, that's not really true because over here we have 6 of our like 42 beds set up. So what we did was we have our wood chip pathways, which also have wool as a base layer underneath the wood chips. And then in between those are the flower beds, which have alfalfa hay on top. And you can see my snapdragons. And here you can see there's already something planted. I planted status. And I will say, there's another tray of it. I planted 190 of them yesterday in this row. I will say status is so easy to grow. It germinated in like 2 days. It turned out great. So all these plants have wool around them, compost in the holes, and then I put the plant in and surround it with native soil. So that is what's going on here. We got wood chips, bark, all the things to set up pathways. This one is next on my list, I guess, because I have my posts up so that I can get my bed set up over here. So that's probably my next on my to-dos, other than building some shutters for our cute little shed over here to make it look super adorable. Anyway, yeah, so that is the farm update. It looks totally different than it did like 2 months ago. I can't believe how much it changed in 2 months. So yeah, a lot of the plants that I grew 2 months ago, most of them are still alive, which is great because I'm gonna need them, especially next year, because most of them are perennials. So yeah, anyway, I will give you guys another update hopefully in a month. All right, bye.